really bad at this game, and Spyro Interrupto is like a very high level strategy, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to see that today. But I fully invite everyone here to actually go to the speedrun.com page for this and actually look at the world record run. I believe it's by Spora777, and he is like a genuinely a great guy, and the run that he did was really insane. But for us, we're going to be doing kind of not necessarily casual strats, but like not really fast strats either. We're kind of just going to be breezing through the game, just showing you guys around. The thing we did with the frog, which probably, if you've never seen this before, you're like, did he just jump in that frog and just fly out? Yes, that's called a proxy. Essentially, what the game is trying to do is it checks if Spyro is like in a place where he shouldn't be, and then he's like, well, you shouldn't be here, and just chucks him out of that place. So what we do is we enter the frog's body essentially, and then the game is like, wait, you shouldn't be in the frog, and then it just flies us out at like a really high speed, which allows us to get height and skip a lot of stuff. So that's what that was all about. This is just a very simple, quick and easy boss fight. Oh, almost messed that up. You just want to take damage and essentially just keep him in the same circle the entire time, since that is not as this isn't the fastest strat, but it's the most consistent, and it's just the easiest one to do. So if you're definitely looking to like start speedrunning Spyro to any percent specifically, I think this run is like a really okay level of skill that you should kind of strive for, because it's very just simple strats that save just a tiny bit of time. Alright, we're already done with Crush. Yeah, we should be like 3 minutes into the run, and we're already done with the first boss of the game. So this kind of sets the mood for the entire run at hand. We're essentially just going to be beating the entire game within like 10 minutes. So that's going to be really exciting. I'm not sure how they managed to make this game like so broken. If I didn't know any better, I would say this game is literally meant for speedrunning, because the glitch that we utilize to get around everywhere is called the double jump. And so many things in this game are just barely possible to do with a double jump. Like this jump that I just did right there, that jump is like barely possible to do with a double jump. And if it wasn't possible, we literally would not even have like this skip in the same method, since we would have to like buy climb and do that entire section. So it definitely seems like a programmer in Insomniac like 20 or 30 years ago at this point just put in some little cheaty codes for us to play around with. And here comes the hardest trick in the run is Gulp Skip. Gulp Skip is a very fun trick that everyone enjoys doing, which is why I'm actually gonna be slightly quiet for a second here, because you might be wondering, is this really precise and dumb and it doesn't work sometimes? Yes, it is all three of those things at the same time. Luckily, this looks like a good clip, but we might mess it up. Essentially, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get Spyro in between the breakable wall and the unbreakable, in between the breakable wall and just the tunnel, and we're kind of trying to squeeze him in between those two spots, and that's a very precise trick. I believe it was found by Tuval, like, at this point, like, a decade ago. Not a decade, but like 5 years ago, and this trick has been killing speedrunners ever since, pretty much. What we're trying to do is align the tail spike ridges on Spyro's back with the actual wall itself, and then just press forward ever so gently and hope he just goes in. Oh, when we get the shadow drop, we want to move slightly to the left, jump and glide. That's going to reset his position in a very odd way. The technicality of this trick is really for a scientist to explain, and I'm just like pressing left on the D-pad and hoping I get into the wall, essentially. Let's see if we get this now. Okay. Oof, that was a rough one, not gonna lie. So that looked very precise and very dumb and very stupid, and it was all of those. Ah, geez, my heart. Swear to God. Funnily enough, the run I did 3 years ago, same thing happened. I think I failed the gulp skip like twice or 3 times. Almost even soft locked the game, so the fact that we get a second try here is a sign of improvement. It's only been 3 years, but we've managed to improve very very barely at this point. We're up to like the second obstacle of the run for most people is Gulp. The issue with Gulp is that even though he's a very simple fight, because I mean, Spyro is just very simple in general. You have Flame and you have Charge. The issue with Gulp is that he has a lot of RNG, and a lot of the run depends on if you're gonna get bombs, if you're gonna get barrels, if you're gonna get rockets, and that very much dictates the speed that you're gonna go at. The first 3 cycles of eggs are always the same. It's always a barrel, bomb, rocket. And if you get a double barrel in the first cycle, you can actually just skip to the rocket immediately. We unfortunately didn't get that, so we're just kind of hoping right now for good positioning of the eggs. Like, that's really good. Let's see if it works out. Awesome. So that's like a really fast setup for a double in a goal. We can't necessarily dictate if it's gonna be good or not. We just kind of have to keep Gulp in the middle and pray to God that it's actually gonna work. You can make a double out of every single not out of every single, as long as you do not have 2 bombs, you can make a combo to hit Gulp twice. So the dreaded triple bomb is something that we all hate, because that's the only time we can't actually force a double in Gulp. Luckily that hasn't happened since, but it hasn't happened yet, but I just jinxed it, so good, awesome. Gulp was actually really fast this time, so that was good. We don't really have a lot of time to chat, introduce ourselves. Hi, my name is Luka. We're already like basically done with the game. It's been like 5 minutes. Yeah, I know. It is what it is. Even though it looks like a lot of new runners make the mistake of like, this is a 10-minute run. This is fine. I can just do this and I can speedrun. Do not do that. The issue with it, the shorter a run is, usually it's the like 10 times as worse for every minute that's like shorter than a normal run. Because for every single second that you're saving normally in like 100% run, there's like a minute to be saved in any percent with like a really disgusting trick, like that penguin that we just did. So that was another proxy, another dead body proxy. That was a really high one. Luckily we can cut out the height when you glide during the animation, so we can actually not have to wait for Spyro to just fly for 15 minutes before we can move him. And now for the other fun part of this run. You might be noticing that I'm saying that this run has a lot of fun parts to it, because it really does. This is very fun. The running joke in the community with any percent is that it is objectively like the worst category, and it just kind of kills you with the grind that you're supposed to do to like get mildly decent at it. And it's definitely something that I agree with. Doing 1 run of any percent isn't that bad, or 3 or 4, but if you actually want to get a good time in it, you're gonna have to devote a lot of time to just practicing the same mundane things over and over and over again. And that's really not what speedrunning, I mean it is what speedrunning is about, but is the least fun part about speedrunning. So if you're looking to start doing runs, do not do any percent. There is a lot of more categories that are just better than this. But speaking of, so what we just did in this level, we jumped over that wall. Looks difficult, actually isn't. That's kind of the thing with Spyro 2. If it looks hard, it's probably easy. If it looks easy, it's actually disgustingly hard. So that's what we did there. We're entering a theater now, and we're watching the last cutscene in the game. Because the game does a really special thing when you watch the last cutscene. It's like, okay, the last cutscene in the game, oh, that means he beat Ripto, and in order to beat Ripto, he kind of had to buy all the money bags to get to that point. So the game just assumes that we beat Ripto and everything, and just unlocks every single ability in the game, and removes every single money bags from the game. So that allows us to right now have Swim, Head Bash, and Climb. And we're gonna utilize Swim here to try and enter Ripto. This is another looks easy but is kind of annoying trick to do. We're essentially gonna try and swim in air. Oh, that's not gonna work. Ah, yeah, that was not great. We can just die here. Nah, it's fine. Let's take it slow. So what we're trying to do there is we're essentially just trying to swim right at the corner of where the waterfall ends, and that's gonna allow us to. The game's gonna think that we're gonna swim in the river, but realistically, we're just gonna be swimming in air, because the collision of the water plane is not properly set up, and this is the same thing in Spyro 3. Unfortunately, not in Spyro 1 because Spyro 1 does not have swimming, but surprisingly, another thing that happens in ETD as well. They really did not learn with swimming and air glitches in the Spyro franchise, but yeah, we got it second try, which is quite okay. And now we're entering Ripto with Fireball, all abilities, Moneybags is unlocked. So all we gotta do now is the rest of the run was really easy compared to this. This is the hardest part. So right now I'm gonna have to use my thumb and I'm gonna have to press circle, and then Ripto is gonna die. I'm also gonna have to press forward. So this is gonna be, look how hard this is.
Spyro, we want.
Oh wow, I got hit. Yeah, this is kind of the payoff for doing all the disgusting tricks beforehand. You kind of just have a really easy boss fight with Ripto where you just hold forward and just mash the circle button and just kill everything in your path. It is definitely satisfying to do at the end of a run, which I feel like is why a lot of people have like kind of like a secret-ish love for any percent, even though most people would all openly just mock it for being a bad category. Now we're actually nearing the end of the run. We just gotta hit Ripto, I believe, 4 more times. 1 more. This is really easy. He usually just has a set pattern that he goes in, and then the last 2 hits he kind of... Oh, we messed that one up. He just goes around those towers, and then we can just shoot him, and that should be it. And oop. There you go. That was simple enough, I guess. Yeah, that was part 2, any percent. Very interesting category. A lot of skips, a lot of things, a lot of stuff to talk about. Not a lot of time to talk about them since it is only 10 minutes long, but definitely something I would recommend people at least try to do just to see if they like it. This was my first ever category that I've speedran, and it's probably gonna be my favorite for the rest of my career, just because it's the thing I started with. But yeah, that was me with Spyro 2 any percent.
I suppose you have to go now?
Yeah, I'd better. They'll be missing me in the Dragon Worlds, and I've still got a vacation to take. I need it more than ever now.
Before you go, I think that Moneybags has something he wants to give you.
I most certainly do not.
Hunter?
Hello? Is, am I supposed to outro myself? Alright,
Yeah, I'm leaving you to it, mate.
okay, fair enough.
I'm leaving
Well,
you
yeah,
to
that
it,
was me with Spyro 2 any%. Thank you,
Wow,
Nas.
thanks. Sparks,
Yeah,
do
I
you
will
have
see
'em?
you all. I believe next up is
Let me
Spyro
just
2
type
Bone
in
Dance
the
with
new
Becky.
coordinates
So
and
please stick around for that, and
Spyro,
yeah,
you can
I'm
now
excited
go
to see you guys
Dragon
in
Shores.
chat rooting for
Hey, why
Becky.
don't you guys come
She
with
doesn't
me?
do a lot of
I bet you
Spyro
could
2, but
use
when
a
she does,
holiday.
she
I'm
actually
afraid you
tries
can't, Spyro.
tries her
Ripto may have
best. So
gone, but he caused a
please
lot of
stick in
damage
chat
to
for
it.
that, and yeah, enjoy.